thrown back to 78, and the opening is already held difficulty. My would-be father-in-law is dead, and Zhao Lei wants to marry my sister-in-law while swallowing up the family property. The whole village is waiting to see this kept man freeze or starve to death. But then I carried a gun into the mountains. Zhang Qing missed with one shot. I dropped a wild boar with every shot. A 500 Jin Sao charged at us, and I shoved Zhang Qing aside and beheaded it with a backhand slash. The villagers asked me whether living off a woman feels good. Good? Sure. I traded my life for it. Want a taste? Lin Yuan, you wouldn't want my little sister to be bullied, would you? My sister told everyone she'll marry you in the future, so that bunch won't keep coveting her. You have no idea. The way the men in the village look at my sister is like starving wolves spotting a lamb. And now that my dad is gone, they're obviously trying to take advantage of the situation. If it really comes to that, then just take my sister too. Then the three of us as one family can look out for each other. Keep the good water in the family. In Shangyang Village, I sat blankly on the Kong, my mind still muddled. I had transmigrated to the year 78. In my previous life, I was a mercenary, and the first time I went to Southeast Asia for free fighting, I won the championship. Who would have thought that when I opened my eyes again, I would become the owner of this body? The original host was an educated youth sent down to the countryside, with no parents, and after arriving in Shangyang Village he got together with Song Yakin. Song Yakin's mother died early, and her father raised the two sisters by himself. The original host was a little handsome and willing to work hard, and a son-in-law with no father or mother was exactly what her father wanted, planning to raise him like half a son. But then her father ran into a black bear while hunting in the mountains and lost his life. While I was thinking it over, with my marksmanship from my previous life, making a living by hunting shouldn't be much of a problem. If you're nodding, that means you agree, right? Song Yakin looked at me with a smile. I froze. Just now I had been so busy analyzing the situation that I hadn't really looked at her. And with that one look, my eyes were instantly hooked. This original host's fiancée is way too beautiful. Her figure curves in all the right places, though her face is a little sallow. If her nutrition kept up, she wouldn't lose to Demimi at all. At least you've still got a bit of conscience. Song Yakin clenched her fist and waved it at me. She had a fiery personality, completely different from her younger sister Song Yaching. Just then, a voice came from outside the door. Yaching, I really do like you. Be with me. I swear I'll let you eat fish and meat every day. I swear to heaven. If not, may I be struck dead by lightning. Song Yakin's expression changed instantly, like she was about to grind her back teeth to pieces. Damn it. How does he have the nerve to come here? He got my dad killed, and he still dares come to my house to harass my sister. She grabbed a kitchen knife and was about to rush outside. The owner of the voice was called Zhao Lei, a half-baked hunter from Shangyang Village. He was the one who indirectly caused Song Yakin's father to die. The two had run into a black bear in the mountains. The bear had originally been chasing Zhao Lei. Out of kindness, Father Song fired a shot and hit the bear in the shoulder, but it only enraged the beast, and it turned to chase Father Song instead. Father Song was tripped, and that bastard Zhao Lei just ran. I've always remembered this grudge. I stopped Song Yakin, put the knife down. She thought I was going to turtle up again, and shouted, Lin Yuan, you spineless piece of trash. My dad treated you well, and this is all you've got? This kind of thing should be handled by a man, I said quietly. What? Her eyes widened. The original host used to be a complete coward, and they had argued a lot over this. I took the knife from her hand and set it on the chopping board. Leave it to me. After all, I'm your man. When I pushed open the door, Zhao Lei was pestering Song Yaching, his eyes brazenly roaming over her body. Song Yaching was no less impressive. Both sisters were top-tier beauties. When he saw me, Zhao Lei gave a contemptuous sneer. Oh, so it's you, the little kept man. Still enjoying mooching off a woman? I walked up in front of Song Yaching, blocked Zhao Lei's line of sight with my body, and smiled faintly. Whether I live well off a woman has anything to do with you. Didn't you hear what my sister-in-law said? She's taken a liking to me. As for you, stop being a toad lusting after swan meat. And take a look at what kind of sorry excuse you are, looking like some dim-witted roe deer spirit. Let me make this clear today. If you dare harass my sister-in-law again, I'll break your third leg. Behind me, Song Yakin involuntarily covered her mouth. Was this her man? Since when had he become so tough? Zhao Lei's face looked awful. I sneered inwardly. In terms of combat ability, I could only rank second among mercenaries. When it comes to cursing people out, I'm unbeatable under heaven. It's not that I can't use force, but this isn't abroad. Killing is against the law here. Any fight that isn't aimed at killing is pointless. My voice was loud, and the neighbors and passers-by all came over to watch the commotion. Zhao Lei refused to back down. You're calling me shameless? I think you're even more shameless. You already have Song Yakin, and you still want to take Song Yaching? Aren't you afraid people will gossip? I said with a grin, that's not right. I'm not married, so I can marry whoever I want. Song Yakin chimed in from behind. Even if one man had 2 wives, I'd agree to it. What's it to you? If you've got the ability, marry 2 yourself. Song Yaching lowered her head with a red face and said nothing, but she didn't refuse either. I continued. Who doesn't know what you're really after? You want to marry my sister-in-law and seize my family's entire estate at the same time. I haven't even settled the score with you yet for causing my future father-in-law's death. Zhao Lei's face turned livid, and through gritted teeth he said, Lin Yuan, the heavy snow will soon seal off the mountain. Let's see how your whole family gets through this winter. When the time comes, don't come begging me to help you. I let out a cold laugh, a trace of killing intent flashing in my eyes. No need for your concern. When you go into the mountains, you'd better be careful too. Don't get eaten by a black bear. Then I looked at the onlookers and said, Folks, when you go out hunting, keep your guard up around Zhao Lei. Don't get sold out by him. My future father-in-law is a lesson learned. With those words, who would still dare team up with Zhao Lei in the future? Zhao Lei left in a sorry state. Song Yakin walked up to me with a smile and gave me a thumbs up. Lin Yuan, you've changed. You're more of a man than before. I looked her up and down and said with a smile, I'll be even more of a man tonight. Want to experience it? Pa, no shame at all. My little sister is still here. She gave me a punch. But Zhao Lei was right. Soon the heavy snow would seal off the mountain, and if we couldn't get food, this winter would be hard to get through. Normally at this time, Father Song would already have started going into the mountains to hunt. I'll go into the mountains myself in a bit. You? Going into the mountains, can you handle it? My father didn't even finish teaching you yet. Song Yakin was full of worry. If I said the one in danger should be the prey, would she believe me? I'll go with Zhang Qing. We'll have someone to look out for each other. That works. Be careful. I went back inside to get my gear. Hanging on the wall was a Type 56 semi-automatic rifle, left behind by my future father-in-law. Besides that, there were also 3 dogs, Xiaohei, Dabai, and Dahuang. Xiaohei was the lead dog, a rare scent hound that could catch the direction of prey from the air with an extremely keen nose. When my future father-in-law was alive, he relied on it to bring down quite a lot of good game. I rubbed Xiaohei's head. Do a good job finding them later, and I won't treat you badly. Xiaohei seemed to understand and whimpered in response. I climbed over the wall and shouted at the neighbor Zhang Qing's house. Zhang Qing, what are you doing? I was sleeping. Zhang Qing was about my age, and around his neck hung the longevity lock his mother had given him. He was one of my few friends here. Everyone else mocked me for living off a woman, but he was the only one who sincerely helped me. Going into the mountains? What for? Hunting. What did you say? Hunting? Zhang Qing picked at his ear. Can you even lift a gun? Just tell me if you're going or not. He instantly understood. Song Yakin forced you to, right? But don't blame her. If there's no food this winter, it really will be hard to get through. All right, wait here, I'll get my gear. Soon, Zhang Qing climbed back over the wall with a hunting rifle slung over his shoulder. Your family's 3 dogs are each fiercer than the last. I'm so damn envious. The 2 of us headed for the mountains. On the way, Zhang Qing teased me. Well, kid, you even managed to get your sister-in-law. I don't even have 1 wife, and you've got 2 in your hands. Get lost. My sister-in-law just said that on purpose because she was afraid of being harassed. Zhang Qing's eyes darted. Then I'll go after your sister-in-law. I lifted my leg and kicked him in the ass. In your dreams. Hey, I was just joking. Why are you getting so possessive? As we passed through the village, quite a few people pointed and whispered. Isn't that Lin Yuan? He's going into the mountains to hunt. What kind of hunting can he do? He's just taking advantage of Zhang Qing being honest and easy to push around. Zhang Qing comforted me softly. Don't listen to those old women talking nonsense. If you don't know how to hunt, I'll teach you. I can't promise anything if it's a black bear, but if it's a gray dog or a big one or something, if we run into it, it's dead. If we're lucky, we might even bag a little yellow-haired one too. The meat is incredibly tender. He paused, then said seriously, but this is your first time hunting, so I've got to explain a few things to you. If you run into a big boar, run immediately. That thing is vicious as hell. Those long tusks in front can pierce right through your body. And it's smart too. When it sees dogs, it won't chase them, it'll only chase people. If you can't climb a tree, you're dead for sure. I was a mercenary in my previous life, so of course I knew all this, but I still nodded modestly. Zhang Qing grew even more pleased with himself. That expression practically saying, see, I know a lot, right? He had already made up his mind that no matter how much effort I put in, he'd still give me half of whatever game we caught, just to show those old women. Woof woof. Right as he was saying that, Xiaohei suddenly started howling. That means it found prey. TSK TSK, a head dog really is something else, way better than mine. Zhang Qing exclaimed admiringly. Your Xiaohei is female, mine is male. How about letting them breed? I said jokingly. No, my Xiaohei doesn't fancy you. I mean for my dog. We'll talk about it later, let's hunt first. We let Xiaohei loose, and after walking for 5 minutes, a herd of wild boars came into view. Damn, big game. Little yellow-haired ones, and big boars too. We're really lucky today. Zhang Qing was so excited he cursed. That big boar was twice the size of an ordinary wild boar. Its tusks gleaming brightly, swaggering as it walked. Zhang Qing stared at its rear with a face full of envy and let out a soft sigh. Can't compare to that. Let the dogs loose. I released the 3 dogs. At once, the sound of barking echoed through the forest. Xiaohei truly lived up to being the lead dog. With one bark, Da Huang and Da Bai followed right behind it. The moment they saw the biggest boar, they went straight up and tied it down. What's wrong with your Xiaohei? Why isn't it tangling with the little yellow-haired ones? Why does it have to go after the big boar? Zhang Qing was frantic. What are you scared of? It can't split itself in two. We'll go after the little yellow-haired ones. Zhang Qing raised his gun to aim, still bragging as he spoke. Watch my marksmanship. He pulled the trigger. Damn, I missed and hit the ground next to it. 3 seconds later, the little yellow-haired one he had aimed at swayed and fell over. What the hell? Hitting the target through the mountain? Did the bullet ricochet off a rock? In your dreams, I shot it. I said flatly. Zhang Qing turned around and saw that my gun barrel was still smoking. No way. You can shoot that accurately by luck. I ignored him and kept my eyes fixed on the 3 dogs fighting the big boar. The 3 dogs worked together seamlessly, leaving the big boar unable to keep up with all of them. Xiaohei was even fiercer, going straight for the boar's balls from behind. One bite, and that beast held non-stop. Zhang Qing watched and instinctively covered his crotch. What's with your Xiaohei? As long as it's female, they're all like that, always going for below the belt. Quit talking nonsense and get moving. The big boar is running out of strength. The beast, eyes red, backed into a corner, its tusks aimed at the 3 dogs, at least so its balls wouldn't suffer a 3rd bite. Catching it off guard, Da Bai leaped up and bit its ear, with Da Huang following right behind. The 3 dogs clamped down and refused to let go. The time had come. This was called pinning it in place. Carrying the hunting knife, I walked toward Depao Luanzi. The wild boar was caked in thick mud, so slashing its body would do no damage. I could only chop at the head. Zhang Qing spat and said, Who cares what Depao Luanzi you are? Didn't we pin you down anyway? Lin Yuan, we're really awesome. I gave him a disdainful look. Only then did it dawn on him. Xiao Huangmao was shot by me. Depao Luanzi was subdued by the 3 dogs, and he had only fired 1 shot, and even missed. Wasn't it supposed to be him leading me on a wild killing spree? How did the script get flipped? Lin Yuan, how about I kill this one? I didn't do much, so let me take care of it. I nodded and urged him, hurry up. A second later, and something could go wrong. Zhang Qing aimed the hunting knife at Depao Luanzi's neck and was just about to bring it down. The beast let out a shriek and, with a sudden burst of strength, actually flung off Da Huang, who was biting its ear, and charged straight at Zhang Qing. Zhang Qing, watch out. In a split second, I shoved him away, and the tusks grazed past his body. Damn it, beast. I was furious. The other 2 dogs hurriedly pounced forward, and Xiaohei went for its balls with another bite. Depao Luanzi let out a wail and collapsed to the ground with a thud. That burst just now had been its final struggle. I put all my strength into it, raised the knife, and brought it down, burying it in Depao Luanzi's neck. Scalding pig blood splashed all over my face. Zhang Qing sat on the ground, dumbfounded. Scared out of your wits. Can you still get up? There are still 2 pigs here. He touched his chest, cold sweat pouring down. I can get up. That last moment, he had truly taken a trip to the gates of hell. Lin Yuan, thank you. Without you, I'd have gone to see my great-grandma. You saved my life. From now on, I'm your man. Cut the crap and hurry up and butcher the wild boars, or other animals will catch the scent and come over. We used a dagger and a hand axe to process the prey, throwing the offal to the 3 dogs. Eat up, you did great today. The 3 dogs wagged their tails, and only then did they dare start eating in big mouthfuls. I hung part of the offal in a tree, the old hunter's rule, to pay respect to the mountain god, and it can also buy time when you run into wild beasts. I didn't believe in this in my previous life, but now I have no choice but to. I glanced at Da Huang, who had been flung away. Seeing that he wasn't hurt, I let out a sigh of relief. We still need to get a heavy-duty dog. These 3 dogs are too light. If they run into even fiercer prey, they won't be able to hold it down. While draining the pig blood, Zhang Qing said, let's make a stretcher when the time comes. Once these 2 pigs are gutted, they'll probably still weigh 400 to 500 jin. Can we even carry them? How about we go back to the village and call for help? Call for what? They're not that heavy. I made a simple stretcher, and when the 2 of us exerted ourselves together, we actually managed to lift the 400 to 500 jin pork. Zhang Qing's eyes widened. Lin Yuan, since when are you this strong? I say you're weak, and you still won't admit it. After only a few steps, Xiaohe suddenly became alert, a low growl rumbling in his throat. Don't make a sound. Put it down and take the guns. Lin Yuan frowned as he spoke. The sound was getting closer and closer, and Xiaohe at our feet was trembling more and more. Da Huang and Dabai both had their tails tucked. Lin Yuan knew that something big was coming. A tiger or a black bear. Zhang Qing swallowed, also realizing that danger had arrived. This is bad. This is bad. We're not going to die here, are we? Don't make a sound. Lin Yuan shot Zhang Qing a glare. The kid was still joking around at a time like this. The grass ahead kept rustling and shifting, and Lin Yuan and Zhang Qing kept backing away. A black figure appeared in front of the 2 of them. With black fur and a pair of small eyes constantly sizing up Lin Yuan, it immediately let out a roar. It was a black bear. Without saying a word, Lin Yuan fired a shot into the sky as a warning. Hearing the gunshot, the black bear was startled and took a step back. After hesitating for a moment, it realized that Lin Yuan and the other man were pointing their guns at it. Bang! Zhang Qing pulled the trigger and fired a shot as well, but he was too nervous, so he missed. Even at such a close distance, he still failed to hit it. The black bear got a scare and scampered off. Watching the black bear disappear from his sight, Lin Yuan fell into thought. If he had been alone, he definitely would have gone after this black bear. With the all-men-are-equal weapon in his hands, he wasn't afraid of the black bear at all. But Zhang Qing was beside him, and at the sight of the black bear, the kid had completely wilted. His hand holding the gun was shaking uncontrollably and simply wouldn't obey him. Lin Yuan was afraid that if he got too nervous, some accident might happen. Zhang Qing wiped the cold sweat from his forehead and said nervously, Luckily the black bear was scared off. Otherwise we'd be done for, and if something happened, there wouldn't even be anyone to come to the funeral feast. According to tradition, hunters who die unnatural deaths don't get funeral banquets, since it's inauspicious. Lin Yuan, aren't you scared? You can hold the gun so steadily. Seeing Lin Yuan acting as if nothing had happened, silently watching the black bear's retreating figure, Zhang Qing had no idea what he was thinking. You're not thinking of killing the black bear, are you? Let me warn you. Even veteran hunters don't dare mess with that thing. If you want to hunt a black bear, experienced hunters make plans in advance and find veteran hunters to go after it together, and even then they still might not get it. Do you know the neighboring village? They once formed a group to hunt a black bear. In the end they did get the black bear, but quite a few people were injured. Newbies like us should forget it. Hunting some small yellow-furred game or whatever is enough to get by. Lin Yuan smiled and said, I wonder who it was that bragged about being an old hand at hunting before ever going hunting. From the way you looked just now, if the black bear had come one step closer, you'd have dropped to the ground and played dead. Bullshit, that was a black bear. It was my first time seeing one. It's already good enough that I didn't piss myself. Hurry up and take the wild boar away. Make it quick, or we might attract other animals again. Zhang Qing urged. Lin Yuan nodded, then suddenly asked, Zhang Qing, did you just see a wound on that black bear's shoulder? Zhang Qing thought back carefully. It seemed like there was a wound. So what? It has nothing to do with you, right? Did you forget how my future father-in-law died? Your future father-in-law. Zhang Qing remembered. Lin Yuan's future father-in-law had been killed by a black bear. Are you saying this is the same bear that hurt your future father-in-law? I think so. Otherwise it couldn't be such a coincidence, with a bullet scar on its shoulder. You were involved, so think carefully. Does its size look like it? Lin Yuan asked. His future father-in-law had treated him very well. If it really was that black bear, even if this black bear ran to the ends of the earth, Lin Yuan would still kill it. Now that you mention it, yeah, really. It does seem like this one. I understand. Lin Yuan nodded. No, buddy, are you really going to hunt it? I'm warning you, going alone is very dangerous. Even with me added in, we still might not be able to get it. Zhang Qing didn't consider asking anyone else. If a sent-down youth whom others saw as a useless good-for-nothing proposed going into the mountains to hunt a black bear, all he would get would be ridicule from others. Besides, forget it. Lin Yuan planned to hunt it alone. Hunting a black bear was very dangerous, and he didn't want Zhang Qing to risk it with him. Zhang Qing nodded, thinking Lin Yuan had given up on the idea, and let out a sigh of relief. As the two of them carried the stretcher, Zhang Qing said, "Lin Yuan, just give me a little of the meat today. I didn't do any work today. You were the one who hunted the small yellow-furred one and the big boar. You even saved my life. No matter how shameless I am, I can't take it. It's fine if you don't give me any, but ahem." Zhang Qing showed a troubled expression. "I bragged to my dad and said I'd definitely bring back prey today. If I don't bring anything back, who knows how he'll mock me. I finally gained a little say at home." Generally speaking, hunters divide the spoils according to the effort they put in, plus the dog's contribution. The dog's work in finding and subduing the prey counts as one share. The rest is distributed among the hunters based on merit. This time, the hunt had nothing to do with Zhang Qing, so it would be fine even if Lin Yuan didn't give him any share. Lin Yuan smiled and said, "I'll give you 1/3. It's settled then." Zhang Qing was slightly stunned and hurriedly said, "No need. I didn't do much. Cut the crap. I caught the prey, so I can decide however I want. Why are you being so wishy-washy all day?" A bitter smile appeared at the corner of Zhang Qing's mouth. "Then I'll take advantage of you." Zhang Qing is a good person. When hunting, Lin Yuan needed someone to lend a hand, and the two knew each other inside and out and could trust each other. Zhang Qing said, "Honestly, on this hunt, I was even thinking of giving you a bigger share of the prey I caught. I didn't expect it to turn into you taking care of me. What a thing this is." Shangyang Village. After finishing their farm work, the villagers were sitting on the ground resting, and Song Yakin, who had finished working, kept looking into the distance. Song Yaching, sitting beside her, said, "Sis, are you worried about brother-in-law?" "What brother-in-law? You girl, I'm not married yet." Song Yakin rolled her eyes at her, but her face was still full of worry. Isn't that only a matter of time? Their father hadn't been dead for very long, so getting married now wouldn't be appropriate, and thus the marriage between Lin Yuan and Song Yakin was delayed. I wonder if Lin Yuan will run into danger while hunting. It's his first time hunting. It doesn't matter if he doesn't catch anything, as long as he comes back safe and sound. At that moment, Song Yakin heard people shouting up ahead, saying that Lin Yuan had returned from hunting and had brought back a lot of pork. "Sis, listen, they seem to be talking about brother-in-law," said Song Yaching. Song Yakin heard it too and quickly left with her younger sister. Lin Yuan and Zhang Qing walked for a long time before finally making it back to the village. Zhang Qing was so tired that his back ached, and he complained the whole way. But the moment he saw people, Zhang Qing immediately put on a calm, nonchalant look, straightened his back, and greeted the villagers with a smile. When the villagers saw Zhang Qing and Lin Yuan carrying a stretcher piled with pork, everyone came over to watch. "Oh my, Zhang Qing, this you got prey? And it was little yellow fur? Damn, you've struck it rich. Have to say, Zhang Qing, you really are capable. A tiger father does not beget a dog's son." In those days, eating meat was a luxury. Pork on the market cost 0.6 yuan per gene. How much could they earn in a month? How could they bear to buy pork to eat? There were wild boars in the mountains, but they weren't easy to catch. They had jumped to conclusions and assumed this pork had been hunted by Zhang Qing, so they were all praising him. Zhang Qing felt a little embarrassed by the praise and scratched his head as he said, "Actually, I didn't get this. On this hunt, I was just helping Lin Yuan out. Lin Yuan got this." "What?" The villagers' eyes widened, and they all looked at Lin Yuan. "You're saying this pork was hunted by Lin Yuan?" one middle-aged woman asked. Zhang Qing nodded. "I'm not lying. There's no need to. It really was Lin Yuan who got it." Hearing Zhang Qing confirm it again and again, everyone turned in unison to look at Lin Yuan. Was this still the useless Lin Yuan they thought they knew? Lin Yuan smiled and said, "Just luck, just luck. Since you're all here today, we'll divide up the meat in a bit." Lin Yuan said generously, "If a hunter catches small game, there's no need to share it. If you do, what would your own family have left to eat? But if you catch something big, then you have to share it. With this much meat, skinning it, and all that, takes too much time. Many hands make light work. They help skin it and process the pork, and Lin Yuan gives them some meat in return. That's only natural." Hearing Lin Yuan say this, everyone finally believed that the wild boar really was killed by Lin Yuan. Oh wow, it really was Lin Yuan who got it. I told you, this kid has promise. Lin Yuan is really capable. Lin Yuan, do you still remember me? I'm the neighbor of the mother-in-law of the younger paternal aunt in your future father-in-law's family. Like father, like sun. Lin Yuan, this is too heavy, let me help you. Several villagers eagerly took the wood from Lin Yuan's hands. When Zhang Qing saw that the villagers who had just been crowding around him had all run over to Lin Yuan, he felt extremely depressed. Come on, folks, aren't you being way too realistic? In the crowd, Zhang Qing spotted his own father and straightened his back even more. Dad, see that? I brought back game. Zhang Qing's father was named Zhang Yuyi, and when Lin Yuan saw Zhang Yuyi, he hurriedly said, "Hello, Uncle Zhang." Zhang Yuyi smiled and nodded, praising him. Not bad, kid. You've got some of old Song's spirit. Not bad. If his spirit lives on in heaven, he'd be gratified too. His future son-in-law has made something of himself. He can feel at ease in trusting his daughter to you. Zhang Yuyi said, not bad twice in a row, genuinely happy for Lin Yuan. Zhang Qing panicked on this side. Whose dad are you? Why don't you praise me too? Dad, I helped out too, okay? Zhang Yuyi went up and kicked him. Didn't you say all this pork was brought down by Lin Yuan? You're just the helper. How do you have the nerve? Lin Yuan, take all this meat with you. You don't need to give him any. Zhang Yuyi was also a hunter and could bring back pretty good game from the mountains. So compared with ordinary families, they weren't especially short on pork. Lin Yuan spoke up for Zhang Qing. Uncle Zhang. Zhang Qing helped me a lot too, and I already agreed to give him 1/3 of the pork. This won't do. It's settled then. Your family has taken good care of me before too, so don't be polite with me. Zhang Yuyi refused again and again, but seeing how firm Lin Yuan was, he finally agreed reluctantly. Lin Yuan, then I'll accept it. You're really something, kid. Zhang Yuyi gave a thumbs up, then kicked Zhang Qing again. Hey, why do you keep kicking me? Do I not have any dignity? There are so many people here. Zhang Qing held angrily. Zhang Yuyi scolded. I'm your old man. I can kick you however I want. I'll stop kicking you when you get married. Though I doubt you'll be able to find a wife. In the village, getting married meant that a person had grown up, becoming a real man. If you still kicked him after that, you'd truly be making your own son lose face. Look at Lin Yuan, then look at you. Zhang Qing drooped his face, looking like life had lost all meaning, making the villagers burst into laughter. Lin Yuan watched it all and felt a trace of envy in his heart. His parents had died early. It had been a long time since he'd experienced being kicked by his parents. At this moment, the Shangyang sisters hurried over. When they saw that Lin Yuan was covered in pig blood, their eyes reddened. They quickly ran to Lin Yuan's side and felt all over his body with their hands. Are you hurt? Where are you injured? Why is there so much blood? Lin Yuan felt warmth in his heart and, rubbing Shangyang's head, grinned foolishly. How could I be hurt? What kind of prey could possibly hurt your man? Don't worry. What? Is the Song family's girl feeling sorry for him? How could she not? That's her own husband. Ha. Knowing there would be meat to eat tonight, the villagers were all delighted and started teasing Shangyang. Hearing the teasing around her, even Shangyang's little face turned red, and she became shy and awkward. Seeing Shangyang and Lin Yuan flirting with each other, Zhang Yuyi, feeling fiercely protective of his son, kicked Zhang Qing again. Zhang Qing. Fuck. None of you should fucking live. Why am I always the one getting hurt? He had thought that catching game would earn him praise from his old man. Who would have thought he'd get 3 kicks from him instead? The crowd carried the pork to the entrance of Lin Yuan's house and started processing it. Lin Yuan was exhausted too, so he sat and chatted with Shangyang. Shangyang also went to help, and inside the room, only Lin Yuan and Shangyang were left. Shangyang looked at Lin Yuan reproachfully. It would have been enough for you to go into the mountains and hunt some gray dogs. Why insist on taking the risk to hunt a wild boar? If something happened to you, what would I do? Lin Yuan curled the corners of his mouth. Aren't I fine? We're eating meat today, aren't you happy? Happy, but from now on, don't do such dangerous things anymore. I'm scared. Her father died while hunting, so in Shangyang's heart, she had always been quite resistant to going into the mountains to hunt. Lin Yuan tapped Shangyang on the head and said, what nonsense are you saying? Hurry up and tui. Shangyang realized she had misspoken and quickly tui. But spitting once wasn't enough. She even held a mouthful of water in her mouth and spat it out again. Looking at the villagers in the yard working up a storm, Shangyang felt a pang of pain just thinking about having to share the meat with them later. Lin Yuan, why do we have to give them meat? They often laugh at you behind your back. It's not like you don't know that. Of course Lin Yuan knew about this. Because of it, Shangyang had quarreled no less with that bunch of gossipy people. Lin Yuan explained, quite a few of these people hunt. I'll be hunting often in the future. Sharing meat with them is so that when I run into danger in the mountains, they'll lend me a hand. Even if they don't help, they won't secretly shoot at me from behind. You get it? Song Yakin nodded, but she still felt sorry. My heart is bleeding. Tonight I'll have to trouble my wife to cook. Song Yakin rolled her eyes at Lin Yuan. Who's your wife? How shameless. Huh. After saying that, she nudged Lin Yuan's chest with her tiny fist. Fuck, you're really strong. Lin Yuan clutched his chest and complained. Song Yakin hurriedly rubbed Lin Yuan's chest, and Lin Yuan smacked his lips and kissed Song Yakin. Brother-in-law, the meat. Ah? This scene happened to be seen by Song Yaching, who was so startled that she hurriedly covered her eyes. You're going to die? A blush rose to Song Yakin's little face, while Lin Yuan was thick-skinned, and didn't think much of it, so he asked, What's wrong? Oh, the meat, it's been divided. Song Yaching's face turned shyly red all the way to her ears as she said softly, So fast. All right, I got it. Lin Yuan nodded and walked out of the room with Song Yaching. Along the way, Song Yaching's gaze darted around uneasily. By accident, seeing Lin Yuan glance at her, she hurriedly said, Brother-in-law, I didn't see anything. Lin Yuan smiled wryly. Aren't you just putting 300 taels of silver in an uninhabited place? He nodded and said, good girl. After that, Lin Yuan told Song Yaching seriously, Yaching, if anyone dares bully you again in the future, just tell me. Watch me beat him till his face blossoms like peach flowers. Song Yaching nodded shyly and said weakly, Brother-in-law, I feel you've become different from before. I am different. I've become even more handsome than before. Lin Yuan stroked his chin and said narcissistically, He's become even more shameless than before. Song Yaching teased, sticking out her tongue, and in the blink of an eye, she was gone. TSK, you little girl. Lin Yuan glared at her and went to divide the meat. As for dividing the meat, of course the host family does it. Lin Yuan gave them the meat from the wild boar and kept the little yellow-haired one for himself. The meat of the little yellow-haired one had a texture similar to domesticated pork, but the meat of the big-tusked boar was different, carrying a strong, fishy, gamey smell. But to the villagers, it was still a rare delicacy. Everyone who received a portion of meat thanked Lin Yuan with a grin and praised him for being capable. After distributing 300 to 400 jin of meat, there were still more than 200 jin left. While handing out the meat, Lin Yuan happened to notice a man about his age standing at the doorway. When the man noticed Lin Yuan looking at him, he gave him a foolish grin, revealing a row of neat teeth. He also tugged at the pants that were about to fall down. This was the village fool. In terms from his previous life, he would probably be called the village guardian. Seeing how he wanted to come in but did not dare, Lin Yuan found it rather amusing. He cut off 3 jin of meat, took it, and walked over. Erlingzi, take this meat home and eat it with your mom. Don't lose it. Lin Yuan was not a local and did not know Erlingzi's real name. Since everyone in the village called him that, he did too. When Erlingzi saw Lin Yuan walking toward him, he thought Lin Yuan had come to hit him and was so frightened that he hurriedly stepped back a few paces. But when he saw the meat in Lin Yuan's hand, he understood that Lin Yuan had not come to beat him, and took the meat from his hand with a silly grin. Hee, good person, good person. Erlingzi did not know how to praise people. He only knew that his mother had said that anyone who helped him was a good person. Lin Yuan let out a sigh. Erlingzi's family was already poor, and on top of that, their son was a fool. He truly did not know how they would manage in the future. But this was not something Lin Yuan should be worrying about. Being able to give him 3 jin of meat was already more than enough. After the meat had all been handed out, Lin Yuan's courtyard finally quieted down. The 2 sisters, Song Yakin and Song Yaching, went to the kitchen to cook, while Lin Yuan lay on the kong like some old master, studying how to deal with that black bear. He was running low on bullets and needed to get some more. Lin Yuan vaguely remembered that old Li's family at the east end of the village seemed able to get some. Lin Yuan got off the kong, chopped off another 3 jin of pork, and planned to go out and ask for some. Yakin, I'm heading out for a bit. No need to wait for me for dinner tonight. Then hurry back. The food here is almost ready. The aroma drifted out from the pot, making even Lin Yuan drool. It was true that he had transmigrated here, but when it came to something like wild boar meat, to be honest, Lin Yuan was not that interested. But this body had not eaten meat in a long time, and right now he badly needed protein. All right. Carrying the pork, Lin Yuan headed toward Old Li's house. After walking for about 15 minutes, he saw Old Li in the yard, having just come back from the outhouse. Lin Yuan called out in greeting, Uncle Li, I got a wild boar today and brought some over for you to try. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Old Li's family also kept a dog, and it started barking the moment it saw Lin Yuan. What the hell are you barking for? Old Li snapped at the big dog, and it tucked its tail, and let out a whine. When he saw the wild boar meat in Lin Yuan's hand, he could hardly move away from it and hurriedly invited Lin Yuan inside. In this day and age, pork was practically hard currency. Who wouldn't smile at the sight of it? Seeing the dog, Lin Yuan praised it, saying, "Uncle, your dog is pretty good. It has a fine build. That freeloader only knows how to eat all day. I can barely afford to keep it fed anymore." Old Li said politely, "Look at you. Just coming over was enough, and you even brought me pork. Man, I've heard about you hunting the wild boar today, and all I can say is, damn, that's impressive." Lin Yuan smiled and said, "Just luck, that's all. I noticed you didn't come, and since you usually take such good care of me, I thought I'd bring some over." "Haha, you're a good kid." Old Li laughed, the wrinkles on his face bunching together like a chrysanthemum. He took the pork from Lin Yuan's hand and put it in the kitchen, then turned around and walked over to a clothes cabinet. "Open the wardrobe and take out a small half-box of bullets. I don't have much else at home, so take this. I'm old, and I can't use this stuff anymore. It's just right for you." Old Li is a shrewd man. Lin Yuan came to his house carrying pork. Wasn't it just for bullets? He knew that all too well. Lin Yuan liked dealing with smart people, so there was no need for chit-chat, and immediately tucked them into his pocket. "Then thank you, uncle." Old Li waved his hand. After that, the two exchanged a few words, and Lin Yuan left Old Li's house. With plenty of bullets this time, Lin Yuan had no idea how that black bear was going to survive. After walking happily for 5 minutes, Lin Yuan heard a noisy commotion. "Are you giving it or not? Are you giving it or not? Damn it. I'm using stones to trade with you, and you still won't swap. I'll ask you one more time. Are you changing or not?" Lin Yuan frowned and saw 4 people surrounding one person, kicking and punching him nonstop. The leader was named Li Xiang, good for nothing and up to no good, worse than Lin Yuan's reputation before. He was the kind to curse the deaf, hit the mute, and strip the shorts off fools. You could say he was the village bully. Li Xiang originally didn't want to get involved. He wasn't a kind man. But when he saw that the one surrounded by the 4 was Lungzi, Lin Yuan was startled. Lungzi was curled up on the ground, covered in dust and footprints. No one knew how many kicks he'd taken. Faced with such a group attack, Lungzi tightly protected the pork in his hands and refused to let go even if he were beaten to death. He said foolishly, "Meat, no give. Mom eats, mom eats. Bad people, bad people." No need to think about it to know that Lungzi was hugging the meat, and when Li Xiang and the others saw it, they wanted to take advantage. They wanted to trade stones for wild boar meat. Lungzi had gotten smarter and didn't trade, so Li Xiang and the others started snatching the meat. The other villagers saw this and criticized them from the side, but not a single person helped. Li Xiang is the village bully. If you offend him, he'll casually make trouble for you later, and you'll suffer terribly. Better less trouble than more. What are you looking at? Get the hell to the side. Li Xiang scattered the crowd with a shout. After the others left, he found that Lin Yuan hadn't gone. Li Xiang widened his eyes and cursed. "What are you looking at? Watch it, or I'll slap you. Get lost now." Lin Yuan smiled and said word by word. "You say, who's your father?" Lin Yuan said word by word. "You say, who's your father?" Li Xiang knew Lin Yuan and knew his weak personality. He patted Lin Yuan's face with his hand and said, "I'm your father. Any problem? Your father is in a good mood today and doesn't want to deal with you, so get the hell out of here. I'll let you off today. Another day I'll go to your house and let the 2 sisters in your family serve me properly." Someone next to him chimed in. "Brother Xiang, the pair of sisters in his family are really each better than the last. A few days ago I went into town, and they were practically exactly like the girls in the city. That figure, TSK, TSK, TSK. Hee hee." Li Xiang showed a smile every man would understand. A flash of anger crossed Lin Yuan's eyes. He clenched his fist and punched Li Xiang in the stomach. Li Xiang's whole body bent over. He hadn't expected Lin Yuan to dare hit someone. That punch hurt so much that he was gasping for air, clutching his stomach and unable to speak. After a long while, Li Xiang braced himself on the ground and stood up, gritting his teeth and saying, "Fuck. You little punk. Have you got the guts of a bear and the bravery of a leopard? You dare hit me? How many lives do you have? Brothers, get him. Deal with him too." The others behind Li Xiang all rushed toward Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan sidestepped the attack and kicked hard, sending one of them staggering backward. Lin Yuan's huge fist blocked the attack, and his knee slammed into another man's stomach, knocked down another person. The next second, he gave the third person a hard slap across the face. Smack. The slap left him dazed, and he swayed before collapsing to the ground. Damn, that fierce. Li Xiang's mouth fell open wide enough to fit an egg. Lin Yuan took a running start and whipped a kick at Li Xiang, sending his body flying backward. Li Xiang clutched his chest and howled in pain. Lin Yuan walked toward him step by step. Squatting down, he muttered, "Who did you just say was your old man?" Li Xiang was shrewd and knew how to read the situation. He knew very well who he could afford to provoke and who he couldn't. Lin Yuan was someone he absolutely couldn't mess with. "I was wrong, brother Lin. I was really wrong. I misspoke." Lin Yuan shook his head and said, "You weren't wrong. You were scared." After saying that, he gave Li Xiang another hard slap. The fool climbed up from the ground, tugging at his pants and saying foolishly, "Good person, good person." Seeing the fool made Lin Yuan even angrier. In his previous life, he had been a mercenary, but even he had never bullied a fool for fun. How dare Li Xiang do that? Smack. Apologize to the fool and go buy him some candy. He was already simple-minded to begin with, and you still hit him. Smack. I had #Yuan. Aren't fools people? Weren't fools raised by their parents too? Smack. Li Xiang was slapped so dizzy he couldn't think straight. Bro, are you using slaps like commas? Seeing how ferocious Lin Yuan was, the others didn't dare step forward at all and could only watch Li Xiang get beaten. Li Xiang wailed, "Bro, I really was wrong. I'll go buy candy for the fool right now." Lin Yuan stopped and muttered, "Li Xiang, if you want to take revenge on me, you can do it anytime. But you'd better think through the consequences." Li Xiang had originally been thinking about finding a chance to get revenge afterward, but when he met Lin Yuan's murderous glare, he lost his nerve. He had a premonition that if he took revenge, he wouldn't be able to bear the consequences himself. "I wouldn't dare, brother Lin. Your lesson was right." Li Xiang nodded and bowed. Then he jogged all the way to the village to buy candy. In less than 15 minutes, he came back with it and stuffed it into the fool's hand. When the fool got the candy, he grinned foolishly, took out a piece, and handed it to Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan shook his head and left. When Lin Yuan returned home, he found the two Song sisters sitting on stools, with bowls, chopsticks, and steaming hot pork on the table. The two of them were drooling with hunger, but neither had started eating. "I told you there was no need to wait for me. Why aren't you eating?" Lin Yuan said. "You didn't come back, and Yaqing wouldn't let us eat." "Ah, she's grown up, huh? Knows how to care about people now." Song Yakin teased. "What? I was just making a suggestion. I just thought it would be better to eat together." Song Yaqing stammered for a long while, her face turning red. "Haha, I'm just kidding with you. Sis, you're so mean." Song Yaqing lightly patted Song Yakin's shoulder. Watching the two sisters play and bicker, Lin Yuan felt that life right now was actually pretty good. In his previous life as a mercenary, Lin Yuan had long grown tired of all the fighting and killing. This carefree life suited him well. The three of them living well together was better than anything else. Lin Yuan sat on a stool, and Song Yakin served him rice. To celebrate Lin Yuan's first successful hunt, Song Yakin brought out the rice she had been reluctant to eat and cooked it. This body of his craved protein, and he didn't stop eating the pork, tossing it straight into his mouth. Seeing this, the two Song sisters silently ate their plain white rice. "Why aren't you eating the meat?" Only then did Lin Yuan notice that the sisters had barely touched the meat on the table. "I did eat some. If you don't believe me, ask Yaqing," Song Yakin said guiltily. "Yeah, I ate some too." How could Lin Yuan not know that the two sisters couldn't bear to eat the meat and wanted to save it for him? He immediately pretended to be angry and said, "Hurry up and eat. Don't make me feed you myself. I brought back so much pork. If you don't eat it and it goes bad, then what? It won't. I put the meat in the cellar. It won't spoil." Still making excuses, Lin Yuan lightly tapped Song Yakin on the forehead with his finger and placed a big piece of meat into her bowl. Then he picked up another piece of meat and put it into Song Yaqing's bowl. "Eat. I'm watching you two eat. I'll keep hunting tomorrow. From now on, you won't be short of meat." Lin Yuan did not plan to tell the two sisters about hunting the black bear, afraid they would worry. Song Yakin had worried for a long time when he hunted the wild boar. If she heard he was going after a black bear, who knew how frightened she would be? You're still going hunting. The meat at home is enough to last a long time," Lin Yuan explained. "If I get prey this time, I'll sell it to the supply and marketing cooperative. I'm the only man in the family. Earning work points with them isn't enough to support you two. At most, earning work points only brings in 20 yuan a year. Hunting is different. If I get something good, I can easily make several hundred yuan." Lin Yuan rubbed Song Yakin's head and said, "Don't worry about me. Your man is capable. Pa, have you no shame?" The next day, Lin Yuan set out carrying a gun and taking 3 dogs with him. As soon as Lin Yuan stepped out, Zhang Qing darted out of the room with a gun in hand. Wait, Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan turned back and saw Zhang Qing's half-smiling face. What is it? Are you going to hunt a black bear? Zhang Qing said in a low voice. Take me with you. Lin Yuan said seriously. I'm going to hunt a black bear, not little yellow-haired game. Don't fool around. TSK, kid, are you looking down on me? No way. You have to take me with you. Ahem, you don't want your two wives to find out about you hunting a black bear, do you? Lin Yuan. You little brat are really something. Lin Yuan threw a kick, aiming for his backside, but Zhang Qing dodged it. I'm not joking with you. Hunting a black bear is very dangerous. Did you forget how you looked when you ran into that black bear yesterday? You almost wet yourself. Pa, that was my first time seeing one. I had no experience. If I run into one today, that black bear is definitely eating my bullet, Zhang Qing said, thumping his chest. Lin Yuan was at a loss with this kid. Zhang Qing seemed obsessed, always wanting to do something outstanding to make Zhang Yi see. That was a dangerous way of thinking. In novels, people like Zhang Qing are always the first to die. Having him follow others was not as good as having him follow himself. Lin Yuan's skills were better than any old hand in the village. Fine, you can come. But remember, once we're in the mountains, you listen to me and everything. Otherwise I won't take you hunting again. Got it. Seeing Lin Yuan relent, Zhang Qing nodded in agreement. This time I definitely have to get a black bear and make my dad open his eyes and take a good look. If your dad knew you were going after a black bear, he'd kick you to death. The two of them chattered as they started into the mountains, and just happened to run into a group of people who also wanted to hunt. Leading them was the production team leader's son, known as Wu Lauer. When Wu Lauer saw Lin Yuan, he greeted him. Lin Yuan, you're going into the mountains to hunt too. Didn't you already get 2 pigs yesterday? Still hunting? Man, I was so envious yesterday. Lin Yuan smiled and said, just luck, that's all. Today I'm just seeing whether my luck is good. If I get something, great. If not, so be it. How about joining us? We're planning to hunt a few little yellow-haired ones today. Wu Lauer extended the invitation. Lin Yuan shook his head and said, forget it. I'm not planning to hunt little yellow-haired ones today. A few gray dogs will do. All right then, hope you bag something good. Wu Lauer said politely. Lin Yuan nodded. Hope you get something good too. After that, Lin Yuan left with Zhang Qing. One of the people behind Wu Lauer said, TCH. Wasn't it just good luck that he got a big boar? What's there to show off about? You invited him, and Lin Yuan still dared to refuse. Does Lin Yuan really think that just because he got 2 prey, he can shake off the label of being useless? I'm waiting for him to come back empty-handed. Wu Lauer's father is the production team leader, and quite a few people in the whole village try to curry favor with him. Since Lin Yuan didn't invite Wu Lauer, Lauer was also quite angry. He waved his hand and said, forget it, let's hunt our own. After saying that, he also took several people into the mountains. Lin Yuan let loose the 3 hunting dogs and had them search for targets on their own. Zhang Qing said, did you see how Wu Lauer's face fell the moment he heard you refuse his invitation, like you owed him $1 million? What's he putting on airs for? So what if he has a good father? Usually when he walks around, he acts arrogant as hell. Does that kid even know how to hunt? He probably hasn't even touched a gun. Hope he doesn't get eaten by a black bear. Zhang Qing complained. Lin Yuan said, why bother with all that? Let's just do our own hunting well. Lin Yuan and Zhang Qing walked with the dogs for over 30 minutes, but they didn't see even a trace of a black bear. They ran into quite a few little yellow-furred ones, but Lin Yuan didn't let Zhang Qing fire. If they killed the little yellow-furred ones, they wouldn't be able to hunt the black bear, and this made Zhang Qing terribly anxious, as if he had lost something that belonged to him. After walking another half hour, Zhang Qing said, why haven't we found it yet? Is Xiao Hei's nose clogged so he can't smell anything? How about we shoot a few little yellow-furred ones? There are plenty of little yellow-furred ones, but black bears are hard to find. If we kill a black bear, it'll be worth more than selling 50 little yellow-furred ones. At this moment, Xiao Hei started barking. He caught the scent. Hurry up. Lin Yuan and Zhang Qing chased after Xiao Hei and the others, running for more than 10 minutes. And Zhang Qing was exhausted half to death. Hurry up and keep up. I told you that you were weak. Bullshit. Hearing that, Zhang Qing gathered all his strength to keep up with Lin Yuan. At that moment, they heard a gunshot. Someone fired. Could it be that someone else is hunting a black bear too? No way, that's ours. How dare they steal our job? Have they got a death wish? That's all money. Zhang Qing howled. Lin Yuan glared at him. Don't make a sound. Let me listen again. Bang, bang, bang. Immediately after, several more gunshots rang out. Lin Yuan could tell that these shots sounded like someone had run into danger and was firing wildly. Let's go. Someone is in danger. What? How could you tell? Why couldn't I tell? By the time you can tell, they'll all be dead. Damn it. Hurry up. Lin Yuan raised his voice by 8 decibels and rushed over with the dogs. Time went back to 10 minutes earlier. Wu Lauer led several buddies into the mountains, and their luck was good. Amid a hail of random gunfire, they hit one little yellow-furred one. This made Wu Lauer extremely happy. It was his first time going into the mountains to hunt, and being able to achieve such an impressive result was already very good. Ha ha ha. Could it be that I'm a genius? Hunting is nothing more than this. My dad goes on all day saying hunting is dangerous, dangerous. I've heard it so much my ears have grown calluses. I'll bring this back today and let him see. The group behind Wu Lauer kept flattering and praising him. Several of them took out tools and gutted the little yellow-furred one, drained its blood, and removed the innards. They were in the middle of dismembering it with great enthusiasm when someone behind them said, "Look over there, someone is waving." How could there be someone waving in these deep mountains? A hunter? Wu Lauer asked. I'll go take a look. One of them walked over with a gun in hand. He shouted, "Who are you? Which village are you from?" As he got closer and closer to the dark figure. When he finally saw what the shadow looked like, his pupils widened hugely. There's what? What happened? Hearing the man shout, Wu Lauer turned around. The next second, that person fell straight to the ground. Blood flew everywhere, and more than half the flesh on his face had been torn off, a bloody mess. Wu Lauer also saw the true face of the dark figure. This isn't a person at all. Isn't this a black bear? Blah, black bear. Shoot, shoot. Wu Lauer roared. Several seconds passed, but Wu Lauer didn't hear any gunshots. When he turned around, he saw their hands trembling so badly they couldn't even hold their guns. How had they ever seen a black bear before? The moment they saw it, their whole bodies became like wooden stakes, frozen in place, their bodies starting to tremble uncontrollably. A few people couldn't hold it in, and a sudden urge to urinate came over them, soaking their pants. In their hearts, they couldn't help thinking, who am I? Where am I? None of this is real, I'm dreaming. Wu Lauer wasn't much better off either. Trembling, he raised his gun, but couldn't bring himself to pull the trigger. The black bear let out a roar and charged at them, making bursts of ferocious growls. Bang! Wu Lauer finally fired, but unfortunately missed. The gunshot startled awake the group behind Wu Lauer, and several of them fired one after another. This black bear was cunning. Otherwise it wouldn't have waved like a person. Seeing them open fire, it hurriedly leaped to the side. Wu Lauer and the others were already nervous, and when they saw the black bear charging over, they started firing wildly at random. The black bear got closer and closer, and Wu Lauer was about to cry. Run, Wu Lauer. Wu Lauer's voice carried a sob. I can't run. My legs won't obey me. What he couldn't understand now was why there would be a black bear in the dead of winter. Wu Lauer was filled with regret. If he'd known, he should have listened to his old man and not gone into the mountains. He silently closed his eyes and waited for death to come. Bang! Bang bang! 3 gunshots echoed beside Wu Lauer, and the sound of bullets reverberated through the entire mountain forest. There was no expected pain. Instead, from ahead came the sound of a huge creature collapsing to the ground. Wu Lauer slowly opened his eyes and found the black bear heavily sprawled on the ground, with 2 holes in its head. Are you all right? Lin Yuan said. Wu Lauer turned around and saw Lin Yuan appear in his field of vision with Zhang Qing, the gun in his hand still smoking. Saved? Wu Lauer's throat bobbed, and without caring about appearances, he collapsed to the ground, gasping for breath. That scared me to death. It really scared me to death. I thought I was done for. Lin Yuan walked over to the black bear's corpse and checked it, discovering a bullet wound that had pierced through the black bear's shoulder. No mistake. This was the bear that killed his would-be father-in-law. Are you all right? Lin Yuan said in a deep voice. I'm fine, but Zhang Wei. Following Wu Lauer's gaze, Lin Yuan looked over and saw Zhang Wei lying on the ground without moving. Judging by the extent of the wound, he was probably beyond saving. Damn thing. Lin Yuan kicked the black bear. Lin Yuan wasn't very familiar with Zhang Wei, so if he died, then he died. Killing the black bear could at least count as avenging him. This black bear is mine. No problem with that, right? Lin Yuan said. And no problem. You were the one who shot it, and you even saved my life. I haven't even properly thanked you yet. Lin Yuan waved his hand. No need to thank me. You'd better think carefully about how to explain this to Zhang Wei's family. Hearing this, Wu Lauer gave a bitter smile. He was the one who had invited everyone to form a group and go into the mountains this time. Zhang Wei had been killed by the black bear, And although the responsibility wasn't entirely his, no matter what, he had to bear some of it. Zhang Qing, get to work. Okay. Zhang Qing looked sympathetically at Zhang Wei's corpse, revealing an expression of sorrow at another's fate that might one day be his own. Hunting in the mountains was like this. You carried your head on your belt, never knowing when you'd suddenly be done for. Lin Yuan set the gun on the ground and took out a dagger, plunging it into the black bear's body. He felt a bit of anticipation over whether the bear gallbladder would be a grass gall or a copper gall. After taking out the bear gallbladder, a trace of disappointment appeared in Lin Yuan's eyes. It was a grass gall. What a pity, Lin Yuan muttered. A grass gallbladder is also worth money and can sell for 400 or 500. If it were a copper gallbladder, it could sell for close to 700 or 800 if sold well. Zhang Qing, chop off the black bear's entire left foreleg. I want to take it to Yakin. Skin the bear hide carefully. While they were dealing with the black bear, Wu Lauer and the others carried Zhang Wei's body away. Lin Yuan cut open the black bear's abdomen, offering part of the innards to the mountain god and giving the other part to Xiao He and the other dogs. Xiao He and the others wagged their tails as they ate the black bear's innards, their little bellies bulging from the meal. After following Lin Yuan hunting these past few days, the three dogs, including Xiao He, had visibly put on weight. Zhang Qing hesitated, as if he had something to say, but he couldn't bring himself to say it, as though something were stuck in his throat. What's wrong? Lin Yuan asked. No, it's just, when you saw Zhang Wei's body, why didn't you show even a trace of emotion? You think I'm cold-hearted? Lin Yuan asked back. Zhang Qing nodded. Lin Yuan had seen far too many dead people in his previous life, so when he saw Zhang Wei's body, he didn't show the slightest expression. Lin Yuan explained, we are hunters. When we enter the mountains, we must be prepared to die at any moment. Besides, the one who died was neither you nor me. We are far too weak in the face of nature, and all we can do is protect ourselves and our friends. Do you understand now? Zhang Qing suddenly understood and nodded. Lin Yuan, I got to tag along with you again this time. Zhang Qing said with a bitter smile. I don't want any of this bear meat. Just being able to hunt a bear with you is enough for me to brag about for quite a while. Lin Yuan said, I'll give you a quarter of it. After all, you've been running around with me for a long time too. Even if you didn't make a contribution, you still worked hard. No. Zhang Qing hurriedly waved his hands. I was just running around, and it was I who asked to go into the mountains with you. I only fired one shot, and I missed. Lin Yuan fired 2 shots, both headshots, while he didn't hit a single shot. Don't be so polite with me. You still have to help me carry the bear meat back to the village. So how can that not count as helping? This bear weighs at least 400 or 500 jin. After bleeding it and removing the innards and all that, it would still be somewhat difficult for Lin Yuan to carry it alone. Stop dawdling. We're all brothers. If I have a bite to eat, then you have a bite to eat too. The temperature difference between inside and outside is too great. Hurry up and get to work. Don't let it get spoiled. The weather is getting cooler now, and at this time of year the weather in the northeast is relatively cold. But the black bear was just killed, and its body is still warm. If we keep dragging this out and the bear meat spoils, Lin Yuan won't even have a place to cry about it. Lin Yuan and Zhang Qing carried the bear meat back to the village, and the villagers were in an uproar again. Yesterday they hunted a big boar and a little yellow-haired one, and today they outdid themselves by hunting a black bear. The first time, people could say Lin Yuan just got lucky, but what about the second time? If you call the second time luck too, who would believe it? Lin Yuan is truly capable, really damn impressive. Lin Yuan, is this a black bear? You hunted it? Zhang Qing straightened his back and said, Of course we hunted it, didn't we? The expression on his face seemed to say, the two of us are really awesome. Uncle, you have no idea. This black bear was ferocious, but in front of me, it was nothing at all. I fought it for 300 rounds, then subdued it with a grappling move. Right after that, I shot it in the head, and the black bear dropped to the ground on the spot. Someone observant noticed the loophole in Zhang Qing's words and questioned him. That's not right, Zhang Qing. I see 2 holes in this bear's head. Didn't you say this bear was shot in the head by you with 1 shot? Don't worry about so many details, haha. Zhang Qing said with an embarrassed laugh. Lin Yuan, do you want a wife? If you do, just say the word, and I'll find someone right away. Her family already has 2 daughters. Why are you worrying about it? I made my move too late. Zhang Qing. Zhang Qing's head was buzzing. No, bro. I said this bear was killed by me. Why are you all asking Lin Yuan? Could there be a loophole in what I said? Why won't you believe me? Watching Lin Yuan get surrounded by a crowd again, Zhang Qing felt awful. Damn, he still didn't get to show off. This trip should make a lot of money, right? Selling a bear is equivalent to our annual work points. Hunting really makes money, at least 500 or 600, right? These words instantly made some people's eyes turn red. Damn, hunting really makes money. It makes more money than city people. How much do city people even earn? Lin Yuan frowned slightly. Isn't that just stirring up trouble? No matter where, there are always people who resent the rich. They can't stand seeing others do better than themselves, and they have bad intentions inside. If they run into trouble, they may even kick someone when they're down. Lin Yuan glanced at the speaker and found it was an old acquaintance, Zhao Lei. Zhao Lei hadn't had much luck lately and hadn't caught any game. Seeing Lin Yuan making so many deliveries recently, plus what happened before, he was naturally very jealous. Lin Yuan, is this bear the one that killed Zhang Wei? In the countryside, nothing stays hidden. When Zhang Wei had his accident, everyone in the village knew about it. Lin Yuan nodded and said, "That's right, it's this black bear. We can also count as avenging Zhang Wei. We hunters live with our heads tied to our belts, and we could lose our lives at any time. Besides, we only managed to catch such game because we got lucky recently. How can that compare with city people? Who doesn't know that we hunters eat one meal hungry and the next full?" Hearing this, the villagers finally felt more balanced. Lin Yuan is right. High risk, high reward. We should just mind our own business. Hunting is too dangerous. Lin Yuan, you be careful too. Lin Yuan nodded and thanked the villagers for their concern. I'm not sharing the meat today. I plan to sell it at the supply and marketing cooperative in town and make some bride money. Go ahead, go ahead. We still haven't finished the meat you gave us yesterday. Normal people with even a shred of decency wouldn't ask Lin Yuan for meat again. Of course, if someone had no shame, Lin Yuan wouldn't give them any either. Giving it to you is a kindness, not giving it is my due. As for whether they'll secretly resent me, Lin Yuan doesn't really care. People who ask him for meat aren't hunters, so they won't threaten Lin Yuan's life. After dragging the bear meat into his own courtyard, the two sisters, Song Yakin and Song Yaching, came out of the house. Seeing the pile of meat, there was a trace of shock in their eyes. Song Yakin covered her cherry-red little mouth with her hand and said in surprise, This is bear meat? Of course. Today we're changing things up and trying bear meat to see what it tastes like. In his previous life, it wasn't easy for Lin Yuan to eat bear meat. This thing is a protected animal. Even after being a mercenary for so long, he only ate it 3 times. Luckily, eating bear meat now is fine. It can be considered a bit of a treat. Lin Yuan cut some bear meat and gave it to Zhang Qing, telling him to get lost quickly. Don't disturb him from talking to the two sisters. Zhang Qing was also self-aware and didn't want to be a third wheel. When he left, he raised his eyebrows and gave a look that only men would understand, with a hint of envy. Follow me, Lin Yuan said softly. What is it, brother-in-law? Song Yaching was also immersed in joy. She had thought Lin Yuan could at most take down a few small yellow-haired ones. She hadn't expected him to bring down a black bear. Lin Yuan took a black bear's arm and led the two sisters into the room. Then he handed it to Song Yakin. Brother-in-law, what is it? So mysterious. Song Yakin carefully examined the black bear forelimb that Lin Yuan handed her. As she looked, her eyes gradually grew moist. Could it be? Could it be? Sister, what's wrong? Seeing that tears were about to fall from Song Yakin's eyes, Song Yaching asked in confusion. What's there to cry about over a black bear's forelimb? Song Yakin said with a hint of sobbing in her voice. It seems to be the black bear that killed our father. Song Yaching felt as if a bolt of lightning had struck her mind, and she stood there frozen. A second later, her eyes also began to redden. Lin Yuan said, That's right, it's that bear. Yesterday, when Zhang Qing and I were hunting little yellow-haired ones, we happened to run into it. We didn't kill it then. Today I took Zhang Qing with me, tracked down its whereabouts, and this time we didn't miss. We killed it. Hearing Lin Yuan confirm it, the Song sisters burst into tears on the spot. Woo-woo. We finally avenged our father, woo-woo. Lin Yuan, thank you. Song Yakin threw herself into Lin Yuan's arms. Song Yakin felt warmth in her heart. Thinking that today Lin Yuan had risked his life just to avenge her father, she cried even harder. She knew that today, when Zhang Wei was hunting the black bear, an accident had happened. Song Yakin knew very well how dangerous it had been. Emotions are contagious, and Song Yaching also threw herself against Lin Yuan's chest. Lin Yuan held the two beauties in his arms, and a slight ripple stirred in his heart. The natural fragrance on their bodies drifted into Lin Yuan's nose. He was a normal man, holding two beauties in his arms, and he couldn't help but let his thoughts wander. Lin Yuan patted their backs and comforted them. We're all family, so why thank me? Your father is also my father, isn't he? He didn't look down on me back then, so avenging him is only right. Woo woo. The two sisters' tears simply wouldn't stop, soaking a large patch of Lin Yuan's shirt. Lin Yuan comforted them for a long time before the two sisters finally stopped crying. Now that the black bear is dead, if the old man knows in the afterlife, he can rest in peace. Song Yakin nodded, wiped her eyes, and said, "You must be starving. I'll go make you something to eat right now," Song Yakin said as she slipped out of Lin Yuan's arms. "Okay, I really am starving. Sis, brother-in-law. Okay, you go too. Brother-in-law, let go." Lin Yuan. Only then did Lin Yuan realize that his arm was tightly wrapped around Song Yaqing, as if he wanted to melt her into his body. This girl was 2 years younger than Song Yakin, but she was already an adult, with curves in all the right places. Her slender waist looked as if it could be grasped with one hand. Lin Yuan gave a light cough to ease the awkwardness. Ahem, it was a misunderstanding, I didn't notice. Lin Yuan certainly wasn't about to admit he was taking liberties. It was better now. If it had been in the past, he probably would have gotten shot. In his previous life, when he was on Douyin, someone commented below that his older brother got locked up for 3 years just for being shirtless by the beach. Song Yaqing blushed and fled the room as if escaping for her life. "This girl, it's not like I'm going to eat you." Lin Yuan curled his lips and muttered. The kitchen at home became lively again, and waves of fragrance drifted out. Song Yakin put the bear meat into the pot to render bear fat. In this era, people lacked oil and fat in their diet, so the fattier the food, the more popular it was. If you went to the market to buy meat, and the seller cut you all lean meat, the buyer could get angry on the spot. Bear fat was a good thing. Flatbread made with bear fat would still stay soft, even when taken out in weather below -20 degrees. Otherwise, why would this stuff sell for so much? Today, Song Yakin was especially compliant and attentive to Lin Yuan. During the meal, she kept putting food into Lin Yuan's bowl. In the evening, she even specially prepared foot-washing water for Lin Yuan and personally washed his feet. Song Yakin was squatting while Lin Yuan sat on the Kong, and he could clearly see the half-hidden peaks of the former's chest. As the heat rose, Lin Yuan licked his somewhat dry lips. He couldn't help reaching out and touching Song Yakin's little face, letting out a chuckle. She had been eating well these past 2 days, and Song Yakin's complexion had recovered nicely, making her look even more beautiful than before. "You devil, what are you laughing at?" Song Yakin said coyly. "Seeing my wife so pretty, can I laugh a little? You devil." After washing Lin Yuan's feet, Song Yakin turned and left. Lin Yuan hurriedly grabbed Song Yakin's hand and whispered, "How about staying here tonight?" Before this, they had always slept separately. They weren't married, and if word got out that they were sleeping together, it wouldn't sound good. Song Yakin hesitated a little. To be honest, she wasn't like other girls, reserved in character. On the contrary, she was carefree and straightforward. "That's not good, is it? What's so bad about it? Who in the village doesn't already know you're my wife now? If anyone dares speak ill of you, I'll slap his big mouth." Lin Yuan pulled her onto his lap and gently kissed her. Song Yakin didn't struggle, letting Lin Yuan have his way. Lin Yuan knew in his heart. Tonight, yeah, it was settled. Just as he was about to make the next move, Song Yakin suddenly pulled away and ignored Lin Yuan completely. "Lin Yuan, wasn't it agreed? Settled, right? You're so heartless, Yakin." Song Yakin rolled her eyes at Lin Yuan and said, "No way, that's not allowed. We can't before we're married." Lin Yuan froze for a moment. "My tent's already up, and you're doing this to me?" Lin Yuan was on the verge of tears and begged, What am I supposed to do now?" Lin Yuan pointed at his tent. "Deal with it yourself." After saying that, Song Yakin smiled and left Lin Yuan's room. After Song Yakin left, Lin Yuan silently raised a middle finger toward her, neither with his left hand nor his right hand. Sleep eluded him tonight. Today he planned to sell the black bear he had caught, exchange it for some money, and buy some rice, white flour, and cloth or something. As soon as he stepped out of the room, Lin Yuan saw Song Yaqing sweeping the yard. When she saw Lin Yuan come out, a blush rose on her little face. Her sister had told her about last night's events and given Song Yaqing a heads up in advance, specifically warning her not to get involved with Lin Yuan. "Morning, Yaqing." Lin Yuan greeted her shamelessly. "Morning, brother-in-law," Song Yaqing said softly. Song Yaqing glared at Lin Yuan and started working. Lin Yuan took out some of the leftover little yellow hairs from the cellar, as well as some bear meat and a bear gallbladder, and called Zhang Qing to go with him to the county supply and marketing cooperative. When Zhang Qing saw Lin Yuan, he chuckled and said, "Lin Yuan, you killed the black bear. The Song Yakin sisters must be touched to death. Yesterday It would have been better if he hadn't brought it up. The moment it was mentioned, Lin Yuan was full of anger. Lin Yuan kicked Zhang Qing and said irritably, "All you know is wild guessing. If you've got that much energy, you might as well think about how to marry yourself a wife. It's not that I don't want to get married, okay? It's not like I can't find a wife. Yesterday, I wandered around for a bit and ran into Xiujuan. She said if I gave her a bare paw, she'd go into the little woods with me. I didn't even agree. If you had agreed, I'd kick you to death." The Xiujuan Zhang Qing was talking about didn't have a very good reputation, a loose woman. Zhang Qing continued, "Lin Yuan, are you going to marry Song Yakin? Way too early for that. Her father hasn't been dead for very long. Getting married now wouldn't be good." "That's true. Brother, I need to remind you, Song Yakin's mother is not easy to deal with. If she finds out her daughter is getting married, she'll probably fleece you for a sum. She'll ask you for bride price money. You'd better be prepared in advance." Lin Yuan nodded. He had heard Song Yakin talk about some things about her mother, a famously shrewish woman in the village. After she divorced Song Yakin's father, she moved out and found a new husband. She never came back even once to see Song Yakin and her sister. If this bitch dares ask him for a bride price, he can slap this shrew in the face. The two of them carried the meat and arrived at the entrance of the supply and marketing cooperative. When the staff at the supply and marketing cooperative saw the meat Lin Yuan and Zhang Qing had carried over, they were completely stunned. The supply and marketing cooperative had been open for so many years, and they had rarely seen anyone bring in this much meat at one time. At a glance, it had to be 200 or 300 jin. Which village's hunters were they? That impressive? How had he never heard of them? Lin Yuan caught his breath and asked, "Hello, we'd like to sell some meat."